Hey, it just hit me. Those lights are so bright, matter of fact. I have to put my sunglasses on now. Like in Southern California. Happens to be where I live now. But really, folks, I happen to live in Washington State. Hey, it just hit me like I got the idea for a new joke. Hey, why don't you zoom on in here for a minute? You see that big bundle of joy? What if I happen to manually push it in like so? Oh, I bumped my head on some type of invisible towel rack of some kind. Anything taller, it would have been a light chandelier fixture. Do I have long hair? Am I a lion or a bear? No, folks, putting all kidding aside for a moment, recently I got a haircut. Can you tell? Now, no one happens to mistake me for their younger sister. Matter of fact, it was so long that when it was braided, most people thought I was a kite. Whee! Hey, Benji, pull me back in before I get hit by electricity. Thank you. Hey, have you ever played games? Yeah, like the board game chess before? Yeah, and you're playing your partner, and you've got a little black piece, you move it on the white piece, and there's a lot of interaction going on. We're having fun, right? But you notice your partner you're playing with is getting all sort of steamy, like he's getting dramatically upset. Like, what do you do in this situation? You really can't call 911 because he's your friend. So what do? Call customer service? Is it A2, E5, H1, the different spots on the chessboard? And if so, does that number when you call it, is it toll free? Is it a 1-800 number? Can you call collect? And when you call it, does it go straight to voicemail? Or is it computer automated and you really don't know what language they speak? You know what I'm saying? No, recently, folks, I was thinking we should make comedy a game. Yeah. The next board game like Yahtzee or Scramble or Monopoly instead, like Charades or Pictionary. Yeah, they come with little cards in a box. You try to get some of the cards, of course. You're making a joke, trying to be funny. Think you get points that way. But then they have other cards. There'd be impersonation cards. It'd be like double the points, right? And so when it's your turn, you pull one of those impersonation cards and it happens to be George Bush, and you go ahead and do that impersonation of him. Hey, I'm George Bush. And then later on, when it comes around your turn again, you grab another impersonation card, and this time it happens to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you go ahead and do an impersonation of him. Hey, I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. And there's really no difference. Nobody can tell. You're saying, hey, I'm not a professional actor. I don't get paid for this. I never went to drama class. Like, would you lose or would you get some kind of brownie points? And if so, what kind of brownies would they be? Hey, it just hit me. Did you see that? Cranky, my arm. That microphone must be some tropical creature from a tropical rainforest around here of some kind. Hey, you and I gotta get along. We gotta entertain the crowd. Let's do it. Have you ever been invited to a party before? Yeah, and you ended up into a giant hotel ballroom. That thing was huge. So you're there, you're at this hotel ballroom, you check your phone, you're wondering, hey, you're probably a little early, so you just think, hey, I'll hang tight, I'll wait around for the rest of the crowd to join me. They'll be here, we get to celebrate. And as I'm waiting, you're looking around, and waiting for everybody to show up at the hotel ballroom for this party, you happen to come across the room capacity plate number on the wall. Yeah, it's that number that's in a room, yeah. And it tells you how many people can fit in that room at the same time for safety reasons, of course. Yeah, and you look up there and it says 400, and you start thinking to yourself, well, what about if everybody here is also some sort of tiny midget, and there are a bunch of them? Or what about if everybody's a huge, giant, big wrestler dude? Wouldn't that number change to reflect the changes in that? Because it was just 400 a minute ago, and it's still 400 now. You start getting anxiety, and then you're thinking, well, where's the capacity plate number for how many Jello cube squares can fit on a plate at the same time in this room? And you're looking for that one, and you can't find it, and you're thinking to yourself, man, they got signs for all the type of different bathrooms that they are. Women, female, and male, and transgender, and family. You're thinking, you thought they would cover all their bases for this. But they didn't. They must have forgot. And then you're thinking back to the time you're at the local public library and you see that little contest they're having. and you have little slips you got to fill out to get the right amount of how many Skittles or M&Ms can fit into the jar at the same time. So you're looking for contest slips here to guess, well, how many Jello cube squares can fit this room at the same time? Because you want to win a prize. You want to win some back to school supplies. Hey, I don't know about you, but I'm still old-fashioned. Yes, that means I'm still not getting cable. That means I'm stuck with the old-fashioned antenna. I'm not rich. I'm not wearing slacks. Or am I? Hey, but anyways, that means I'm still having to get up ever so often, and then I have to manually change the antenna to get the reception in. So that means I only get a few channels, like 1, 2, or 3. And one of them happens to be the Japanese channel. Yeah, I'm watching a lot of Japanese. I'm learning how to speak it. Not really, because he's still speaking English, which is good. And anyways, one day, watching NHK Newsline, the news reporter came on and she said she had an emergency report she had to say. Yeah. She had to report there had been an escape from the Shanghai Hanoi prison. Well, I'm really not sure if that's in Japan, but I'm sure it's in Southeast Asia somewhere. And she said they, as of yet, do not know the motivation for that prisoner from escaping out of jail. Well, let me see here. Maybe he just wanted to find his local Taco Bell, go through the drive-thru, hook up with that Chihuahua dog, and order a much bigger box of tacos to eat with him. Or what about if he really was in jail a long time and he missed his childhood, of course, and he wanted to relive it. So he would go to the park, find a long-lost friend he happened to miss, and they would climb hemlock trees together. Or how about he just wanted to be free? Yeah, that would certainly be motivation for me. Moving on, let's talk about traffic for a moment. I don't know about you, but first you need a car. Yeah, really, no-brainer, right? Anyways, one day I was out driving, of course, and I'm coming to the intersection. The light turns red. I'm about 3 or 4 cars back in the turn lane. Anyways, I'm waiting and waiting for it to turn green again, and it does. But this time, nobody's going. Yeah, I start honking my horn. Nobody wants to go. And I'm thinking to myself, well, a lot of people must be watching the public access TV channel because they think now that green means to protect the environment. And that means nobody can go. That means we all of a sudden got to turn off our cars, don't spend any more energy on gas because we got to, protect the environment. So this is where I happen to live now because I'm not going anywhere. So what does that mean? For me, do once a month I get out of my car and I go up to the lead car, which happens to be where the manager lives, to pay my monthly rent. Is this turned into some type of mobile home park now? I just want to go home. And if so, what happens when it turns red? Do we all go and crash? Do we run away thinking this is some type of practical joke? Smokey the Bear is playing on us? Because I don't want to get burned in a fire. I'm trying to flee from danger. When I was trying to learn how to get in comedy before for the first time, I went to a comedy place and talked to the comedian. And before the show, I asked him, well, you got any pointers? What do I need to do to get into comedy? And he said to me, believe it or not, you got to get on Facebook. And I'm thinking, get on Facebook? Like, what are you doing all here? What am I doing here, live and in person? Hey, this is my face. Here's a book. Facebook. Think about that. Hey, were you one of those folks back in junior high school, in your science class, that had some silly little kid at the back of the class, on the other side of the window pane, and he was looking like this with suction cup hands all over the window, crawling around with his tongue dripping out, leaving a drool and slobber behind with his tongue that's hanging out, and you're thinking he's some type of human gecko from the state of Texas. Yeah, well that kid was me, believe it or not. Hey, you know the rest of the story, how it goes? Well, the school counselor said I happen to have ADD. You heard of that before? ADD, it's attention deficit disorder. Yeah. Well, anyways, recently I realized, hey, I don't have it anymore. Yeah, there's a test for that. The test is, hey, I could sit still during a movie. Yeah, You know, like it says still in the movie, I don't have it no more. But do you realize that every time you go to the store and you get in the grocery line, you're waiting for your turn to go up the cash register, and you're looking at the person up there, and they're on their second, third pin attempt, they're on their second, third card, and you realize this is taking a long time, and you start, you know, moving around, you're realizing those ADD symptoms are coming back, and you start feeling like you're a hula dancer. You start bumping into the chip rack, they all fall down, and you tell the rest of the people, oh, don't worry about that, they clean up crews, I'll get to that later. And you start swirling and all that, and finally it's your turn, and you get up there, and you automatically feel like you have to get your cereal box up, protect yourself, because that cash register lady now got some laser, and you're trying to hide behind it. You don't want to get shot. This is like where she feels like we're playing G.I. Joes now. We're back to being little kids on the playground, and I don't even have a gun, so I hurry up, make a gun with my hand. I'm trying to think, well, do I have to go somewhere and get a super soaker or what? Because, you know, I don't want to fight because I don't want to get hit by that laser. That's danger. And then you start getting real anxiety, and you're thinking, man, I've been in this line forever. What are they going to do, lock the doors now? If so, I'm going to be here all night. I got to go to work tomorrow morning, you know? Yeah, really. Do you ever feel like one of those Pez dispensers? Yeah, from off the rack you see at the grocery store. And they're little tubes, little things that they come in another packet of Pez dispenser candy, and you put it in the Pez dispenser so you can eat some candy for later. Yeah, when you have a sugar craze of some sort, and they have little characters with heads that flip up, and that's where you put the candy in, and it's like Batman, Darth Vader, Donald Duck, right? You know, those are the characters for them. So you go ahead and grab one of those, put it in your pocket. You ever feel like one of those Pez dispensers? Yeah. Like, what about the time when your friends finally invite you out with them to go to a fancy, fresh restaurant? Yeah, you happen to arrive, you sit down, you look at the menu, it's your time to order, you see something you like, you tell the waitress, well, go ahead and get this. Later she comes back to you, arrives, and it's some stroganoff, and you're realizing, man, I just can't eat this, I just can't stand stroganoff for all I'm worth. You tell the waitress quickly, come back here. You hurry up and regurgitate it. Hey, please reheat this. It'll still be good for others. Because you're thinking, your mom didn't raise you to waste food. You know, she taught you or told you about those people in Africa dying of famine, and so you don't want to waste it. Or what about that time that your sister finally invited you out to go to your niece's birthday party? And so you arrive, you're at the party, but you really don't fit in with all those girls. You're not 5 years old. You're not 10. You're the only guy probably here, or maybe a couple others. You see that the dessert table with all the cake and ice cream is really delicious. So you start headed over there, and that really appeals to you, and that's where you're hanging out, because none of those presents are yours. You can't open them, and you're thinking, man, let me just take a sample of this. Like, I'm at Costco. And so I eat some ice cream and cake, and man, I realize it's all gone. And right about the same time, all those girls from the party and the mothers come over to the dessert table, and they ask you, well, where's all the cake and ice cream at? You know, where did that go to? And you hurry up and regurgitate it. Hey, here, please freeze it. It'll still be good for later. I'm sure everything will be okay. Like, listen, the health inspector will still approve you. It'll be all right.